Oh, that was a wild selection event. So let's return and see what happened. Remember that we had large and small happy faces attacked by the crazy predator. Many could get into the small holes. Some were trampled, some didn't make it. But in the end, there were 5 individuals that survived. And that was these 5 that we see in the screen up there. And then we're going to look at them down here and say, okay, after that selection event, there were 2 of them that were in this category of homozygous A1, and there were 3 of them that were heterozygotes in this category. Okay, now I'm going to allow clonal reproduction. So part of this process of evolution is you have to let things reproduce. So I'm going to let each of these guys make a baby, and they're going to make a baby just like them, which makes it easy for us. Now in real most eukaryotic organisms, we would have some kind of a sexual recombination there, but not today. So now we have this new population where there's now the same number of individuals as we began with up here before our selective event. And now we're going to count the frequency of the alleles in this case. Okay, so we know that the A1 category, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 individuals. So we have 4 individuals here times 2, which is 8 A1s. All right, and we go down to the heterozygote category, and we know that there are 6 individuals here, so there's 6 times 1 is 6 A1s, and there are 6 times 1, and there are 6 A2s. All right, so that means that if we want to calculate the frequency of A1, we have 14 out of 20 equals the frequency of A1. And down here below, we would have 6 out of 20 is the frequency of A2. And 14 out of 20 is equal to 7 out of 10 equals 0.7. And this is equal to 3 out of 10, which is equal to 0.3. So what we see is that the frequency of A1 has changed, right? Has changed from 0.5 to 0.7. That's evolution. Piece of cake. Okay, we might also notice that because A1 changed, A2 had to change. So A2 has gone from 0.5 down to 0.3, which equals evolution as well. So what we see is a shift in the frequency of alleles in the population. And so this is achieved by going back and looking at these. These are the 3 main components here. The trait had to be variable, heritable, which means it's genetic, and it had to have differential reproduction correlated with the trait. And so what we see is that in this case, it was the heterozygotes that had a lot down here, but we lost all the homozygous A2s. So this event then brings us back to evolution by natural selection.